done it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of Valtos, and I am back here with another video. Today we're doing what if Asta was a conduit, and yes, I'll also be posting what if Asta was reincarnation of Zoro today as well. So keep your notifications up. And speaking of notifications, I don't know if you noticed, but the views on the videos have been low lately. Now I'm not gonna sound like some arrogant, asshole and say, oh, I deserve these automatically. Not every what if is exactly perfect. And especially for me, the Black Clover what ifs are by far the hardest. So I don't know if it's like notifications messing up or if YouTube is like just pulling a prank on me, but I don't know. I mean, I have 2,000 of you watching, so I thought I would get more views. Just pointing it out. If maybe your notifications are turned off or you're not getting any notifications, make sure to turn them on. And yeah, I'm gonna get right into the video. Last time we left off, Asta was saving the kids from some criminals, and after he did so, another opponent showed up. And luckily, he quickly took care of her, but now came the final boss. And he was pretty pissed. So him and his right-hand man Valtos charged into the fight. Unfortunately for them, Asta couldn't control his anti-magic as he was being corrupted by the creature inhabiting him. He starts to go crazy and then sends Licht flying. But eventually, he stops rampaging because Yami arrived and snapped him out of the trance. But the weird thing was, Asta was now using 10% of his devil power, and he could still use his conduit abilities. Now it was the Black Wolves versus the Eye of the Midnight Sun, Yami versus Licht, Asta versus Valtos, and anything else that may come along. Let's see how this turns out this time. Now, Asta starts off by returning Valtos' warp magic at him 2 times the power after absorbing it. Valtos barely dodges this. Damn it, I underestimated him. I won't miss this time. He activates his warp magic once again and sends rays at him, but Asta just easily parries them and cuts them to nothing with his swords. Asta says, "This is awesome. It's like his magic just disperses before I even get to cut it. It just still hurts a little bit though." He then stops cutting the attacks and starts using his after image technique to confuse Valtos. And since Asta has no magic, he can't tell which one is real. This causes his downfall as Asta appears behind him, sending a dark beam through his chest. Valtos, while seemingly dying, says, "You're a monster." Asta says, "Yeah, and you're an asshole." He then goes to kill him with a slash when all of a sudden he's gone, and all that Asta sees is a blinding light, and then he sees Licht appear far away with Valtos in his hands, healing him. Yami then says, "Wow kid, that was pretty fast." Asta then says, "Well, he's not that strong. And you're way more awesome, Cap. You tired out that guy and you don't even look tired at all. But he's about to pass out." Now we cut back to Licht and he's breathing heavily. Asta then says, "What's wrong? You're not going to use your recovery magic on yourself? Why are you being so selfless all of a sudden?" Licht then says, "Don't insult me, human. I'm done playing around. It's time to end this." While Licht prepares his attack, Gauche was entrusted with Teresa's magic. Now they're currently at the orphanage and Teresa is getting healed. And he also took the kid's magic in order to help out Asta, and Fernro was about to teleport him back to where Yami and Asta were. Now back at the cave, Yami just told Asta that he can't block the attack. And Asta says, "Don't worry, I got this. Time to show you one of my ultimate moves." Lichten says, "Perish, you damn humans." He fires a huge ray of light at them, and just when Asta was getting ready to retaliate, Gauche appears in front of the attack and completely reflects it back at Licht, who is unable to escape since he has been, very weakened. He gets hit straight on and falls to the ground in pain. Yami, surprised but happy, says, "Good job." Asta then says, "I was gonna show you my awesome move, but yeah, good job, Gauche, and thanks for bringing him back, Fernro." Fernro then says, "No problem, I am your senpai after all." They would then keep talking on until they hear Licht laughing and they feel a sense of uneasiness. "This isn't gonna end well for you," says Licht, laughing maniacally. As he says this, a portal opens up as 3 individuals step out of it. Licht then says, "Let me introduce you to my friends. They're known as the Third Eye." As he says this, one of his friends starts to heal him with her fire magic, and one of those 3 appears in front of Yami in a flash as he starts to inspect the design of his Remora, I guess you could say. but then he gets hit on the shoulder from Asta's dark beam and jumps away in pain. Raya the Faithless then speaks. This is why I hate fighting. But you hurt my friend, so I won't hesitate. He then heals himself with recovery magic similar to Lick's and copies Yami's Dark Slash, but Yami easily counters the slashes he sent at them, and as he did so, Vito the Hopeless attacks from behind with his beast magic and breaks Yami's sword. Asta then rushes in using Breaking Point to jam Vito's arms as he screams in pain and backs away while bleeding. Asta then says, "Those guys can't be underestimated." As he says this, a huge fireball heads for them, and Asta uses his Dark Slash to cut through it, and it also heads for Fauna, the Hateful. She barely dodges the attack, and the three are left in shock how strong this kid is. Fauna then says, "Was he the one who hurt you? I'll kill him." Funeral then says, "She can use spirit magic. We're so screwed." Yami then says, "Shut up, we'll be fine. Stop being a weasel. You're a black bull." As he says this, Raya fires a bunch of dark slashes at them, and Asta quickly makes an anti-magic barrier. Asta then says, "Guys, I can't hold this for long." Yami then says, "Damn it, I was just about to surpass my limits." Seeing that they can't get past the barrier easily, the three take the initiative for a frontal assault. But just as they try to, they get blasted back by a bunch of different magic attacks. These guys are interesting. You black bulls are just full of mistakes. How can you lose to these small fries? Yami then says, "Shut up, will ya? We're just about to attack." "Well, are they any good?" Yami then says, "Not really. Our rookie beat their leader to a pulp until you got here." All the captains are shocked to hear this, and then they notice that they actually feel weak around this kid. Charlotte then speaks up. "What is that form? I can feel my magic being cancelled out." Nozel then says, "Can you control this power, or will I have to take care of you, commoner?" Asta then says, "I don't know, but you need me anyways. And like I said, I have a name, you stuck-up noble." Hearing this pisses off Nozel as Yami starts to laugh. "You tell him, kid." Nozel then says, "What makes you think we need you? When captains are fighting, someone like you should stay out of the way." Asta then says, "I know you need me because I know that despite that arrogant attitude of yours, you feel weak just standing next to me. Right now, I'm the position of power, not you, smartass." Nozel is sweating right now, and the other captains are impressed that this kid can hold his own, but they get interrupted by Vito. "Hey, stop talking your little group over there. It's time for you to perish." Ryan then rushes at Charlotte as Jack rushes at Vito while Fauna attacks Nozel. While they're fighting, Asta proposes a plan. Lick then starts to say, "There is no hope for you. Do you know why that is? It's because we are loved by Mana." But then he thinks to himself, so why does a human hated by Mana have such weird abilities or possess such a grimoire? While he's monologuing, Yami goes in for an attack on Lick, who is still recovering, and he tries to come down on him with a slash. Lick thinks that there is no way he's getting hit by this attack, but then out of nowhere, Asta appears behind him, and all the captains look at him, wondering how he got there so fast. Asta then pulls all his anti-magic into his Demon Dweller sword and uses Swift Slash to injure Lick to the point where he looks like a beaten up ragdoll. Nobody could keep up with the speed he was attacking at, and then he ended it off with a dark beam barrage to his limbs, making Vito, Raya, and Fana just get filled with rage. He would then fall to the ground, spitting blood excessively out of him, looking feverish. Asta would then, while tired, say, "Finally." Yami would then congratulate him on a job well done when he realizes that this kid is in pain. Realizing what had happened to their teammate, the third eyes would get caught off guard and just get blasted back by the captains. Especially Vito, since his arm is still, jammed up with concrete. Yami then says, "Kid, you good?" Asta then says, "No, everything hurts. But I guess I'm still not used to this new power. The good news is, though, I heal fast, so I should be fine." Yami then says, "You can rest now. You did good. We gotta spar when you get control of that power." Asta would then smile, thinking that he can now go back to see Rebecca, but he's shocked to see that Lick is on the floor and is starting to shine. Now we cut to Noel's perspective. "Wow, this girl can cook." Then she quickly has a flashback of Asta kissing Rebecca and feels bad. And Rebecca says, is that one of the teammates Asta was talking about? She's whispering this, of course. She's really pretty. I don't know why he doesn't talk about her all the time. Then she also has a flashback of Asta kissing her and blushes, thinking, oh, that's why. Noelle then says, why is that dumb Asta not back here yet? Rebecca then scared says, do you think maybe they got... Noelle then cuts her off. You don't have to worry, it's Asta. He'll be back. He promised you that, right? Rebecca would then shocked say, wait, you saw that? The room would then get filled with awkwardness as they both look at each other in silence, not knowing how to turn the conversation around. Now we go back to Lake's perspective. Give me back that grimoire. It belongs to someone special to us. You don't deserve to wield those weapons. He bursts with light energy and releases his seal. Vito then says, Lake, stop. If you keep going, you won't have a body left. Yami would then quickly grab Asta, who's losing consciousness, and back away as far as he can from the release of all the power. Then Vito, Raya, and Fana manage to seal his power for the time being. In doing so, they also encase him in some sort of crystal and hurry to leave since their leader was hurt. Then Raya takes Valtos. And if you're wondering about the creepy girl Sally, I don't know, man, I don't care. Yeah, Valtos already teleported her back, let's just say that. Raya would then say, don't worry, we'll be back for you. And next time, we'll make sure you taste despair. And it will be the last day of your lives. We of the Midnight Sun are always watching. They would then fall into a portal and disappear. Seeing this, Yami would look at Asta, who was now asleep, saying, you're incredible, kid. Nozel would then say, Asta of the Black Bulls, is it? Huh. We then cut to the next day as Asta wakes up feeling awesome. And he heals pretty fast, He then sits up scratching his head when he sees a man who was actually always accompanying the Wizard King. Asta then says, what happened? Mark says, you're currently at the Magic Knights headquarters. My name is Marks and this kingdom owes you its thanks. Asta then says, well, thank you, but I'm guessing you didn't bring me here out of the goodness of your heart, right? Marks then says, that is true. We have heard rumors of how powerful your anti-magic is, so we need you to use that to break a sort of protection magic. Asta is surprised by this and then follows Marks, who tells him about what happened, that the kids are okay, Sister Teresa is saved, Hearing this made Asta feel relieved as he remembers how badly Teresa was hurt during the fight and says to himself, I have to get stronger soon. I can't be held back anymore. I have to go all out. Marks then says, by the way, Asta, what happened to your right arm? We thought you were hurt, so we tried helping out, but it did nothing. Asta then says, oh, that, I'm guessing was from overusing my powers. Soon they make it all the way down, like the basement or whatever you call it, and they open a door. When Asta heads inside with Mars, he sees the Wizard King, who says, sup, Asta? Asta then says, oh, hello, sir. Julius would then say, I heard from Yami about your new power-up. You're just full of surprises, aren't you? By the way, what kind of magic did your opponents use? His eyes would start to twinkle as he kept harassing Asta with non-stop questions about the fight until Marks calmed him down. Sorry about that. So do you think you can do what we're asking you to do? Asta then says, yeah, sure. Asta would then go to pull out a sword, but something clicks in his mind. Up until now, I've been channeling anti-magic through my other abilities. This time, I'll try to control it myself. It's my power. I can do this. He would then focus and close his eyes as his right arm would continue to turn black all the way to his shoulder. He was now using about 25% of his power, his devil power. Then he would open his eyes and flick the terrorist on the forehead, destroying the magic protecting him. Julius then says, What did he just do? He can use that energy without a source now? This kid is amazing. Then Marks would use his magic to start interrogating the terrorists, and then Asta would wait and watch the interrogation until Marks tells all the captains to come down to where they are. Asta would then say, oh, Captain Yami's here? He's coming over here? Soon the other captains would arrive along with Yami, and Jack would say, it's that kid. You did pretty good back there. Why don't you join my squad instead? Yami would then say, hey, watch it. That's my protege. They would then start to stare each other down until Julius would calm them down. Thank you for coming. Now, I have learned some interesting things from these two, but there's something even more important we need to know. I'm gonna ask you two again. Who amongst the Magic Knights has betrayed us? The captain of the Purple Orchis, Geldor Poisoned. I'm gonna end it off there. And just like that, this part is over. I hope you guys like it. I'll be back in a few hours with What If Asta is the reincarnation of Zoro. But right now I'm tired as hell, so I'm actually gonna go sleep for a bit. Ugh, I only ever yawned on camera before. About the notifications thing, I don't really know if that's a thing or not. It might just be because you guys don't like the series anymore, so I might need to cancel them. I don't freaking know. Either way, hope you like this part. And like I said, please give this series a chance. It could be so awesome. I just need time to build things up. I'll see you guys in a few hours. So wait for me.